Hey guys, and welcome to the LAN Party.
Whatever, yeah, go.
Okay, why are you stopping me? Look, that would have been the greatest intro ever.
Yeah, it would have. But, I couldn't tell if it was recording or not.
Anyways, welcome to the LAN Party Podcast. Today is Thursday, January 28th.
You're just going to be our calendar boy.
Yeah, I guess. I didn't say it last time, I forgot.
No, you said it like halfway through.
Yeah, because I forgot.
So, we missed last week's because Mother Nature decided to dump the white stuff on us.
Hey, don't put it like that. That sounds wrong.
And we missed it on Tuesday when we originally scheduled it because Tyler had some things come up. So we are here, and we are going to try to settle on one day consistently in the week. We just don't know which one yet. That would involve me getting the same day off every single week it's work. So we're working it, but working on it.
Yeah, we're always working it.
So I did notice some really cool news when I logged into my computer this morning, but I want to try and see if it's actually on my source of news. And I'm no longer using my laptop for this either because we'd all be dead and decayed by the time
we get any information, because
Yeah.
it takes like 45 minutes to load a web page.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, how long did it take whenever we were like, hey, look that up, and you actually told us what we were trying to look up?
Oh yeah. So I'm just gonna go to the website directly for this. GTA 5 updated today, completely out of the blue, like no notice or anything, like just came out and update. And I really do like the update, so I'm just going to read you the Social Club Newswire page that they left out. And it is GTA Online updates today, Drop Zone Adversary Mode, plus the new Sultan and Banshee customization, wide body race cars. So I'm already liking the sound of this update. I haven't played it yet. It says, free fall your way into Drop Zone, the latest addition to GTA Online, PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Sorry, you last gen people. If you don't have a newer gen console, for crying out loud, quit whining and just get one.
I'm talking to you, Adam. He messaged me the other day and he was like, all my friends are on Xbox One and I can't play. You're a grown-ass man with a job.
Just buy one. And it says, in this new adversary mode, teams of paratroopers jump from cargo bobs hovering high above, then race to the ground to seize and maintain control of a small exposed patch of terra firma. Wow, this is the most educational Newswire post I think I've ever seen Rockstar come out with.
Why? Just because it said
terra firma? Yeah.
That means Earth in Latin.
No man is an island here. You and your squad mates will need to attack and defend as a unit. With 4 teams and up to 16 players zeroed in on the target area, this is a fast, chaotic, and prone to huge swings in fortune. First team to hold the drop zone for a total of 2 non-continuous minutes wins. There are 5 drop zone maps, each requiring a unique approach to deal with changes in terrain and cover. These can be found at Pillbox Hill, Richmond College, Elysian Island, the Mere Park Cul-de-sac, and Sisyphus Theater. I'm blind. Get this closer to my face so I can actually read it. Now at Benny's, new vehicles and upgrades. Benny's is branching out with new upgrade types for 2 new cars. Pick up the Corinne Sultan and the Bravado Banshee at a new low entry price in the updated stock section of Benny's OriginalMotorworks.com. This is the guy that does all the lowrider customizations. Bring these rides to Benny's Garage for upgrades into high-performance wide-body race cars, the Corinne Sultan RS and the Bravado Banshee 900R, and tap into a range of upgrades exclusive to Benny's. When fully modded, the Sultan RS and the Banshee 900R can even compete with top-tier supercars like the Zentorno and the T20. Stay tuned for details on our upcoming event weekend, which includes a double cash and RP playlist, in-game discounts, and more. Please keep an eye out on GTA Online next month to see some items you're sure to fall in love with. So,
yeah,
Valentine's Day stuff, which they haven't done in 2 years?
I don't know.
I just want the Valentine's Day, honestly, just so that I can get the Albany Roosevelt. Like, that is the only reason I want it. And that's it. So
why, you don't want any of the love stuff?
No. I'll be just happy with the Albany Roosevelt.
I thought you were a romantic man.
It's Grand Theft Auto.
What's your point?
So,
look, all the strippers love me.
My interpretation of this, we were talking about this before the podcast when I found out that the game actually updated. I'm glad they're still sticking with updating the game, but I'd almost put money down that these upgrades and stuff are going to be outrageously expensive.
Well, still, like I said, say what you will.
Yeah, no, and I know.
They're still keeping this game alive.
They are.
They're updating it like it came out yesterday, which is very, very nice.
Notice, first update, or one of the first updates, Beach Bum.
Yeah.
Like, everything was either free or super cheap.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
now look at executives and other criminals where $12 million yachts are a thing.
The reason why it's getting so expensive is because people have had the game for a while, so they have a lot of money.
I think I've explained this to you. The lowriders, you can get custom valve covers on the lowriders. You can get them with painted liveries. They're $600,000.
Still
$300,000.
Still, the reason why they're so expensive is because a lot of people were complaining, like mid-game or something like that. There's nothing for them to spend their money on, and then they came out with heists, and then they came out with the really expensive updates.
I understand part of that, but if you want us to play heists for all of our money, give us more than 5. Make a heists part 2 and add 5 more heists or something, or one that pays more than.
That was what people were complaining about with Destiny. Was there was only 5 strikes.
Yeah, I mean,
now there are raids that are super fucking hard that nobody wants to play.
If you're basing your entire multiplayer experience around, at least now, when it first came out, it was different, but now they're basing all of your income off of the assumption that you play heists all day, every day, for the rest of your life. You might, if you're in the right crew, get like $1 million out of the final heist. Maybe. And even then, you'd still have to do the same heist like 40 times for it to ever really... Because ammo is outrageously expensive and you use a lot of it in heists. Unless you run around with a bottle or a shank and just stab people. And that's...
you just run around with the pistols. Is cheap.
But I find myself doing heist setup missions, and I get like $18,000 off the heist setup mission, and then I end up spending $28,000 just to refill my ammo and body armor, which is a little ridiculous because that means I'm going -10. And I don't know. I like what Rockstar's doing. Don't get me wrong. All the content they're adding is super cool. But honestly, $100 buys you 8 million in-game dollars. That's not even enough to buy a yacht.
Yeah.
$8 million for $100. If I'm spending $100 of my hard-earned money, I should get like 15 million. Let's be honest. If you want to do, and that's my biggest problem with Rockstar, is I think part of the team is out there to improve the gameplay experience for a lot of people. I do think there's a lot of people at Rockstar that do genuinely want us to enjoy the game more, so they release cool content. But there's also some of them that are just like, well, that's a stupid idea because it's not going to make us a lot of money. That's a stupid idea because it's not going to make us a lot of money. And to me, they're probably cool ideas. Like,
they could just pretty much do anything with that because they've made their money back plus probably 18 times more.
Oh yeah. Well, and I think I told you they screw the PC community. Rockstar screws them. Like Steam, the winter sale for Steam.
Uh-huh.
This past, or maybe it was a summer sale, I can't remember. Maybe GTA updated their store catalog on Steam for the summer sale, and it was $58.98, advertised as 25% off. The game's regular price is $60.
How is that 20%
What
off?
they did was they removed just being able to buy GTA 5 and bundled it together with a shark card, which the bundle plus the game ended up being 25% off, was $58.98. But you couldn't just buy GTA 5.
That's lame.
And so what that did is when you bought that package, it bypassed Steam's refund service. So you couldn't get your money back on the game.
That's really dumb.
Yeah. And they almost got sued for it because it was fraud. It was false advertising. When you clicked on the store page, it didn't say, like when there's a bundle on Steam, it'll have like the image of the cover art of the game and then like a slash in the middle and then what else is bundled with it. It was just GTA 5. And it was advertised as Grand Theft Auto 5. It didn't say Grand Theft Auto 5 Shark Card Bundle or anything like that. They were advertising it as Grand Theft Auto 5 and didn't change anything. Yeah. I thought that was pretty crap. They do that a lot to the PC community. They just do this stupid stuff. Like the banning. I am all for banning modders if you're going to do it fairly. You can't just ban the people that are dropping money and leave the people that are blowing people's cars up, spawning in their houses and killing them and doing all that stuff. They're banning people for dropping money because it takes away from shark card sales, which is what these updates are doing. So I'm afraid, I'm super excited to check this new update out, but I'm also afraid for what my wallet's going to feel like when I'm done with it.
Yeah, good point.
So yeah, go check out GTA 5 because that's definitely something I'll be doing here in a little while tonight, playing it and trying out this update. I did see a neat little thing about a good old game that we haven't played or spoke of in a long time, probably. Well, we spoke about it on bonus round last week, but you know, we didn't. It was very vague. There wasn't a lot of talking about it, but let's see here. Fallout New Vegas is getting a multiplayer mod.
Fallout New Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
This mod team is currently seeking testers. You can travel the lands of Tamriel with friends in Elder Scrolls Online, but there isn't a multiplayer option for players wanting to roam Obsidian's take on post-apocalyptic RPGs. Modders plan to change that.
Obsidian's take. Obsidian was like the original.
Yeah, you know. But they did do New Vegas. So they plan to change that with a multiplayer mod for Fallout New Vegas, which is what they're currently trying to find playtesters for. It will allow you to get thrown out of post-apocalyptic casinos with your friends or attacked and killed by deathclaws if that's more your speed. Reddit user NVMP_corporal explains how it works, saying all NPCs in a certain region will be synchronized to a host, but quests won't be. That means if a player connects to a host that has killed an important quest-centric NPC, then any relevant quest could fail. If the host leaves the region, then a new host is chosen and NPCs will resynchronize to them.
Nice.
That's interesting. I wish they'd have done it with Fallout 3, but because I don't... Everybody talks about New Vegas and they're like, oh yeah, it was a great game and all that stuff, but I can't... It's too broken to enjoy for me.
Chesspreet seems to very, very much enjoy New Vegas.
Yeah. Such a shame. EA Games hoping to regain PC gamers' trust.
Well, I mean, that's literally who the majority of your fan base was, besides, you know, FIFA and all those guys. But still.
Well, they're adding this Origins Access, which is like...
Oh, come on. You're doing it the wrong way, EA.
Yeah, PlayStation...
I don't even need to hear the rest. You're doing it the wrong way.
Now, let me go into... I haven't read a lot into it. I've played Battlefield a couple times in the past week or so with Nate, and it's popped up on my feed, you know. Join EA Access. It's like $5 a month. But what it does is it gives you access to the full games of hundreds of EA titles, and it's not just like third-party titles like Battlefield's in there, Hardline, Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3, all the DLCs that are out for those games, and tons of other games I think were included. And I don't like the whole thing, but I do think that it is balanced out. I'm not going to get it just because I don't want to have rental games.
All the games are free now. That's the thing, is all the games are free now. Or will they be free in a few months? Will it be free in a few years? Will the fee still stay $5 a month?
But in which case, if they're, I mean, honestly, I'd just quit the subscription if they bump the fee up. It's not worth it to me. I mean, I don't play a lot of EA games. The Sims, occasionally. Battlefield, occasionally. Couple Need for Speed games. And that's about it. Battlefront, which I think is also on the EA Access list. But I can't.
Can I say I'm disappointed about Battlefront? That's about as far as I'm going to go with that.
Yeah, it's a little bland. Although, it sold 13 million copies.
Well, duh. It's you slap the name Star Wars on anything and it's going to sell like wildfire. B, it's Battlefront, and people were anticipating this game for years, tens of years, or at least 10 years. And
tens of years, well, at least 10 years.
Yeah. And, they get this game. Well, this game is finally released. I guarantee you they probably made their money back on pre-orders.
Probably. But it looks like they just hit the 13 million mark today. Which is actually kind of surprising. Given his successful... I mean, look at a game like Fallout. I think they saw that they shipped like 16 million copies just on day one.
Yeah.
Just on day one. And they didn't get Game of the Year. I don't know if we went over this on the last podcast, but my bias to Fallout's about to really come out here. Witcher 3 did not rightfully win Game of the Year. I think that is a load of crap. One of the reasons that it won was because it was less buggy than Fallout 4. The VGAs were in late November, early December, right around there. Fallout was out for 3 weeks. Witcher 3 had almost been out for a year. I don't think that's a fair category to judge. If you're going to judge on bugs, you need to judge based off the release version.
Yeah.
Version 1.
That's true.
Because I think The Witcher 3, as good of a game as it looks and as polished as it looks, it's had way longer to polish out all the bugs. And you can make the argument all day that Bethesda worked on this game for 8 years, 7 years. Be that true as it is, it was in production for 7 years. No game's ever going to release perfect. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. There's always going to be bugs with something.
But hopefully they don't release like Battlefield 4 did.
Well, that's a whole nother story for God knows how long of a time that's going to take to explain. But my problem with it is I have not played The Witcher 3. I haven't played it yet, though. Partially because I got it and then it won Game of the Year and I've kind of got a grudge against it now. But, I mean, I haven't gotten around to playing it yet. But to me, I've seen some information about it. It does look gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. But what it does in graphics, it sacrifices in the small things. I think Bethesda's worlds
I've heard it's actually got a very fantastic story.
And yeah, now that I do.
I wouldn't start talking too much about Bethesda because I have a complaint to make about Bethesda. Is they've sacrificed world building because their worlds aren't as fleshed out as they were.
Yeah.
Like the I admit they came back a little bit with Fallout 4 because now it feels like I'm actually in the Commonwealth, and I feel like it's an actual real world and stuff like that. But Skyrim was shallow.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot to it.
Skyrim was horribly, 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 horribly shallow.
Way too much landscaping and
it was
little towns.
It was the size of the ocean with the depth of a puddle.
Yeah.
I mean, I played Oblivion, and that game definitely doesn't have the greatest graphics or character models.
No, it doesn't.
But I really enjoyed that game. Like, I didn't even touch the main quest until I was level 40 something because I totally forgot about it, and I got wrapped up in other storylines, like the Thieves Guild storyline. That totally just sucked me into the storyline. The Dark Brotherhood sucked me into the storyline, and they were both a few hours apiece.
Yeah.
And then with Skyrim, the Thieves Guild, like the main story, is like an hour and a half. It's like an hour and a half of gameplay, and then grinding, just massive, massive, massive grinding and finding things. And then the Dark Brotherhood, that was like 2 hours and didn't really mean anything in the end. It didn't really have an impact on
I think as... Again, I'm biased towards Fallen, and I know part of this is a bias, but I do think in some aspects The Witcher definitely did win. Graphically, visually, it's a beautiful game. I will not take that away from it. It is a gorgeous game, but I do think they sacrificed a little bit in case you guys can't hear that. Tyler, keep talking. I gotta go let the fucking animal in.
But, well, yeah, it does look like a beautiful game, and they may have sacrificed a little bit, but I've heard they actually, their entire world is completely open world, and they have a fantastic story. I personally haven't played the game either. I've just seen reviews on it, and all the reviews I've seen are pretty glowing.
Yeah, and again, I do think the open world definitely is something for it. However, what Bethesda did is they kind of sacrificed graphics for a much more full world.
Fleshed out.
Yeah, there's more to it. I feel more like I'm exploring a post-apocalyptic America. Because, I can see these destroyed cars and even the cans and how much detail they put into some of the computer. It feels more detailed to me. It's not as pretty on the eyes, but they've done a lot more to make it fleshed out, I guess is the only real way to immersive sort of, but not quite. And then there's a lot of people bitching and moaning about the crafting system. What do you mean?
Crafting system's fine, but
it's awesome.
I don't really like the the construction.
Yeah, the building's a little
That's
janky.
A little wonky. I mean, when I'm trying to put a wall where one of the prefab shacks has a hole in the wall, and I'm like, okay, I'll just put a thing there, and I'm sitting there and I'm like align it perfectly, and I'm like, okay, you click it there, and I turn around the corner and there's like a 5-inch gap that I can't fix.
I think what they should do is take like Halo in Halo 4. Forge with the magnets function and the snap to angles. I think they should do that like on a grid system.
They do have like sort of a magnet system. Like if you're gonna put stairs or a ramp on a doorway,
it'll
snap to it.
But it's still janky. I can give you that on there. And
yeah, I wish you could actually phase your items a little bit, so you can like phase a wall into a wall, so it'll give you a snug fit.
And hopefully with the release of the creation kit, some of these problems will be fixed.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not saying that it's okay for Bethesda to rely solely off of the community to fix problems, but the community usually jumps to the gun to fix these issues if Bethesda just can't get around to it. So
yeah, and I mean, mods are already coming out like crazy for Fallout 4.
Which is ridiculous. They said early 2016, and I know it's still early, but I'm ready for the freaking creation kit. Because I know as soon as the creation kit comes out, I'm going to end up putting another like 180 hours into the game.
Yeah.
Just because I'm going to be like, where can I put a house? Oh, where can I put a... And I'm just going to keep click. I'm going to be playing around in the creation kit doing all this crap, and then... just got a Steam message.
Oh, okay.
It's just somebody... recording, bro.
Relax, bro. What if it's Jared being like, "Hey, your audio's not working"?
It's not Jared. Don't scare me. But no, I just I don't know. To me, there's a lot. I don't think the VGAs are very legit anymore. Most anticipated game of the year was No Man's Sky. The game's not even out yet. How can a game that doesn't exist yet, in physical form that people can go buy and play, that shouldn't get an award yet? It should be a game before it can get an award. I should be able to buy a copy of the game.
I think...
And...
Well, that was VGA 2015, right?
Yeah.
Then the most anticipated game should have been Fallout 4.
Yeah, I know.
What the heck?
I
No
know.
Man's Sky was slated to release 2016 even then.
Yep.
That's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can't say game of the year and have it game of next year.
That
doesn't even make sense.
I think the VGAs are a joke. And again, part of that is a bias.
A lot of people believe you. A lot of people.
They were authentic and actually something to go off of a couple years ago. And then I think it was the year that The Walking Dead won Game of the Year over Dishonored. And I'm like, yeah, somebody just flipped the stupid switch in the VGAs because they quit. Now, granted,
Dishonored was a really good game.
Yeah, it is. And they're releasing an HD version for next-gen consoles and PC.
Aren't they coming out with Dishonored 2?
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for that. That's going to be fun. Because Dishonored was really good fun.
It was. And it got beat by The Walking Dead.
Well, I've heard a lot of good things about that too. But
I haven't played
a lot of people were complaining that it's not really a game.
Yeah, I think that was kind of the year that they flipped the switch at the VGAs and they just started judging games poorly. But I'm the one talking here, so I don't know. I could be wrong, but there's not really a whole lot I know what to touch base on. I mean, Walking Dead mobile game dev raises $10 million. That's a lot of money. Rise of the Tomb Raider PC version comes out today, or came out today, I guess.
Hooray!
It's never a game I could really get into.
Well, I mean, it's not like the old Tomb Raiders, like the one that was on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
It's not like those. It's a little different. I've heard it's pretty good.
However, here you go. Steam and Windows Store are offering the game for 10% off because of launch week, meaning you can get it for $54 instead of $60. This offer ends on February 4th.
Cool. I'll wait a few more months until I can get it for like $40.
I'm just not going to get it. I don't really have a reason to get it.
Well, I mean, if I even want to play it, I'll wait.
Like if it pops up on Steam for like $1, yeah, I'll buy it. But
oh, why not?
I'm not gonna go out of my way and get a game that not that
keen on,
engrossed in. I'm trying to Google around and see if there's any good deals on Steam. The hell is that noise? Is that you kicking my table? No. I don't know what that noise is. Maybe it's a dog. I know Steam's doing like a 2K developer weekend right now, up to 85% off of 2K titles. So like your Borderlands, and you can get Borderlands right now, just the first game itself, for $7.49.
I could never really get into Borderlands.
Neither could I. Just, throwing it out there. Let's see what kind of specials we got. BioShock Triple Pack for 85% off. It's $10.49.
I have to admit, BioShock Infinite was a pretty good game.
Yeah. Borderlands 2 Game of the Year, $8.79. Borderlands the pre-sequel, $20.99. Jesus. Oh, wait, that's the Season Pass bundle. I was going to say its retail price is $69.99, but then I realized that it's a bonus edition with the Season Pass included. Any Civ players out there, you can get Civ 5 for $7.49. Not a bad deal.
I've never played it.
Neither have I. Told it's great. Nate will sit there. He's like, I hate it because I'll sit down and play it at night, and then I look out my window and the sun's up.
And the next thing you know, Gandhi destroys your kingdom.
Yeah. I haven't played a lot of it. And then now I'm getting into the games I've never heard of. Fractured Space. Space Hulk Ascension.
Space Hulk?
Holy crap. I Am Bread. Here you go, guys. I Am Bread is 66% off. $4.41.
What a steal.
Dude, I want to play that game so bad just to say I did. It looks so stupid.
It looks hard.
Yes, it does.
Very hard.
I had somebody, I can't remember if it was Derek or John, but I'm sitting there, I'm like, I want to get that. And they gave me the stupidest look. They're like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, excuse me, what's wrong with you? What other game out there can you play as bread, toast, or baguettes?
No, you play as bread to become toast.
Oh, that's right. And you can interact with baguettes.
No,
baguettes!
You can play as baguettes. Ha ha! Oui, oui, baguette.
But,
Ha 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 ha.
I don't know. I love those stupid games like Goat Simulator that are fun for like 3.5 hours, but it's not just like, oh, I'm having fun. It's like, oh my god, this is the most fun I've had in my entire life. And it wears off after about 3 hours, and you put the game down for a while, and then it updates a whole bunch, and you go back and play it again like 4 months later, and it's another 3 hours of the most fun you've ever had.
You know, they updated a lot. There's new characters you can play as.
In Goat Simulator?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
There's like a dolphin in a wheelchair.
There's like freaking... They had a Payday 2 DLC for it.
Yeah.
And then the Payday 2 game had a Goat Simulator DLC that you could get.
Really?
Yes. And it was great. I'm going to see if I can find information on that DLC. It was hysterical. I don't know if you can still get it, but I know it was on sale for like 99 cents a while back on Steam, but I don't have Payday 2, so I didn't have a need to get it.
That's awesome.
Let's see here.
Wait, could you like go around licking money?
That. Yep, that's definitely it.
Lick the bag. Get into the car.
Let's see here. Enter search term or search tag. Payday 2. Hold on. Goat Simulator Payday. Payday 2 or not Payday the Height. No. Please excuse me while I remember how to talk and type at the same time.
Dear Aunt Sally.
No.
The order of operations.
Shut up. Here it is. Payday 2, the Goat Simulator heist. I'm going to give you guys the full description. It got mixed reviews. Shocker.
I bet the hardcore Payday fan base is like, no.
This is stupid. This is going to be a weird one, gang. The Goat Simulator DLC is the 30th pack for Payday 2 and is a collaboration between Coffee Stain Studios and Overkill. Vlad has a new mission for the gang.
I wonder which one of those studios developed Goat Simulator.
Coffee Stain.
No, it was obviously Overkill.
No, Coffee Stain did it.
No, it's obviously Overkill.
Oh, Payday.
No, the one that developed Goat Simulator. It's obviously Overkill.
It's Coffee Stain.
No, it's obviously... No, the name...
Has a new mission. Vlad has a new mission. Vlad has a new mission. Vlad has a new mission for the gangs, but things quickly get more complicated once they arrive at the scene. With this, we introduce a brand new 2-day heist that is unlike anything we've done before. Together with this comes a new shotgun, 4 melee weapons, 4 masks, 4 patterns, 4 materials, and finally 2 new tracks for Simon Viklund.
Simon Viklund.
GSPS 12-gauge shotgun, new melee weapons, the pitchfork, Sean's shears, shepherd's cane, and a scout knife. A pitchfork.
A cane.
Why is this not in GTA yet? Oh my god. The masks. The goat, the mastermind goat, the scout goat, and the slick goat have been added. Goat. The slick goat is the dolphin. Oh my god. Here, you gotta take this and read the article. He's gotta get up and walk because we gotta be some of these masks. Things that I wish were in GTA so that I could run around as a dolphin.
I like how the only serious thing in here is the shotgun.
Yeah, no. Oh my gosh.
4 new masks, 4 new patterns. Have been added as part of the DLC. Try out the giraffe, Illumigoti, goat face. All inspired by the Goat Simulator video game.
This almost made me buy Payday 2. I'm not even kidding. When I saw what happened here, that close to buying Payday 2. I'm just like, I'm totally about to buy it. And I didn't. So, yeah.
4 new materials have been added as part of the DLC to try out. Try out Flamingo Eye, Tongue, and Goat Eye.
That's slightly disturbing.
Well, two of them, of course, one is an eye, the other one is a goat eye. One of them looks like a tongue, and the other one looks like grass or something. I don't know. 5 new achievements have been added to test the skills of you and your crew. That's beautiful.
Gotta give them props for that DLC, but yeah, it's probably got mixed reviews because all the diehard Payday people are like, that's stupid. It's not a real heist, that's dumb.
You know, I might actually be able to run this.
What?
Minimum system requirements. Well, I don't know. Processor may still be out of my reach. Minimum requirements is operating system Windows XP, SP3, 2 gigahertz Intel dual core processor. That might be out of my reach. Everything else, 2 gigabyte RAM, NVIDIA GeForce Radeon HD 260.
2 gigahertz. Now your graphics might be too. It depends on if you have onboard graphics.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't have onboard. I mean, I do, but I don't use them. I use my graphics card. Most laptops use onboard graphics, just because there's not a lot of room for a graphics card.
Catch!
Don't throw it. Just toss it right over here. Gently toss it. It's in a life-proof case. Product placement.
We're not sponsored by LifeProof, but we'd be willing to be.
Dude, seriously, this phone case has gone to hell and back. I can't tell you how many times the corners are the most deadly place for a phone to fall. Like, yeah. If the phone falls on the corners, you can almost count on your screen getting shattered. Hold on. Oh, okay. I was at work one day, and I work in retail as a warehouse associate. So I'm on a dirty concrete floor 90% of the day. And I stuck my phone in my tool belt pocket, and it got hooked on my radio cord to the earpiece that I'm wearing. And when I turned, that cord pulled my phone out of that pocket, and it literally came up almost to my chin from my waist.
Wow, and you then turned very fast.
Well, it's not a very long cord. And it hit the floor right on the corner, and it bounced. And I mean, it bounced on probably 2 corners and then hit face down on the ground. And I'm like, oh, phone's done. I broke it, and I picked it up, and it was just fine. Best $60 I've ever spent.
You know, it was really, really funny. While I was at Philmont, we were waiting to get into the dining hall to eat some grub. You know what I mean? And this one guy, he's standing in line with his girlfriend, and he pulls out his phone to check the time, because I think the kitchen staff were running a little bit behind schedule. So he pulls out his phone, checks the time, and he's like, and his phone screen looks like a spider web. And his girlfriend goes, "Ha, yeah, I'm really super proud of my phone because I haven't cracked it at all." And somebody goes, and is like, "Really? Show me." And as she pulls it out of her pocket, she drops it, and it lands screen first on the ground, and it pulls it up, and it's spiderwebbed even worse than her boyfriend's. I was like, that is instant karma if I've ever seen.
Now, see, that's the benefit to LifeProof, is it's got an elevated screen case. So
yeah, you wouldn't crack the
it's
screen.
not landing directly on the screen. It's got a little border around it that is keeping it from... I love my case. I would never have I spent a better $60. And that's saying something because video games are $60. And, you know.
Video games.
I almost, after last week's podcast, bought Elite Dangerous, but then I had to pay for my window work, and that ended up being more expensive than I wanted it to be, so I didn't. But I was going to buy Elite Dangerous Horizons, which was the base game with planetary landing.
Uh-huh, yeah.
But I didn't.
If you do buy Elite Dangerous, do buy Elite Dangerous Horizons.
See, I'm not gonna get it right now unless I really have the money to throw at it, because
you get bored and you have nothing else to do.
Yeah. Trying to find more interesting news. Assassin's Creed Empire.
Empire.
Is Ubisoft about to take the stealth series to Egypt?
Isn't that where the movie's taking place?
I think so. Assassin's Creed Empire goes to Egypt and does not debut in 2016.
Okay, yeah.
Slated for a 2017 release.
They're stopping their yearly game releases because
kind of a good thing.
I don't think Syndicate sold too well.
I still have to buy that game.
I don't think I'm going to buy it.
I want to try it.
I didn't even buy the last one.
More bugs than an episode of the Really Wild show. Assassin's Creed Unity almost killed the franchise. And while developers put things right with Assassin's Creed Syndicate, the game's playing public was losing interest. So Syndicate must have been a redeeming game, because...
Well, yeah, but I don't think it sold very well.
Syndicate recording the worst week of sales of any major Assassin's Creed game last November.
People started really criticizing Ubisoft, like, yeah, they don't care about their fan base, they don't care about their games anymore. So, yeah.
I really hope if they make this game that it doesn't connect to the movie.
So it's not some like cheap ass tie-in.
Yeah, I don't want. I mean, if it's a tie-in, that's okay. Like if a well done tie-in. Like I think Assassin's Creed Rogue and Assassin's Creed Unity were fantastically tied together. They were released at the same time for both different consoles, and when they tied the game, the ending of Rogue is literally the beginning of Unity, just from a different perspective. And it kind of fills in some of the holes that you would have had in Assassin's Creed 3 and Assassin's Creed Unity. I really think they did a fantastic job with that. But that's 2 games.
Yeah.
I do not want them to turn Assassin's Creed the movie into Assassin's Creed the movie the game.
Yeah, that would be really
dumb.
Stupid. Like it would be cool if you were playing as a totally different character in the game. You were playing as a totally different character than in the movie. And then, maybe you run into the character from the movie and you're just like, hey, yeah, and you move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're friends. We're both assassins, man.
They really should build on next-gen consoles off of the platform of Black Flag. Imagine, with the capabilities of next-gen consoles,
like
what they could do with Black Flag. Oh my god, there's so much there.
They should totally just scrap the Assassin's idea for a while and take the engine that they use with Black Flag and build a pirate game from it.
I mean, seriously, the platform that they have, the core to Black Flag, was awesome. The world was huge.
You know, a lot of people complained about Black Flag because they were like it's the best pirate game ever, and then the assassin part gets in the way.
Yeah. But I mean, the world was huge. And I'm not going to say it's completely open world, but most of your ocean exploration was. Yeah. I mean, you could just get off your ship and go somewhere.
It was actually really fun.
Yeah.
You know, even whenever you're just hanging out.
You could go whaling, you could go, harpooning sharks. You could go treasure hunting. You could go chase after the British Royal Navy or the Spanish Navy or whatever you wanted to do. There was so much you could do, and I think that they really just grievously they underused that technology. They could have done so much more with it. And then they announced Unity, which by all means I was still excited for, but they're like, yeah, we're not having any naval stuff. I'm like,
it's like, why?
You had it for 2 games.
And you introduced it. You introduced it in 3, and everybody was going batshit over it.
Yeah.
And then you made a game about it, and everybody even went even more batshit over it. And then you were like, "Nah, we're done.
We're done."
You're missing an opportunity here.
They did it in Rogue, and it was real fun in Rogue because now you're up in the northern Atlantic and like the Canada, and you've got ice to go through. And I mean, it's still so much that they could have kept doing instead of just because I love Rogue.
I seriously think they should totally just make a pirate game.
They should.
Like it doesn't have any connection to any of the Assassin's Creed stuff or any of the Ubisoft universe. It's just a pirate game. It'd be fantastic.
And I love Rogue, but it's a reskinned AC4 with a slightly different story. I mean, and the story's good because again, it fills in a lot of the holes that you would have had about Assassin's Creed 3. You know, where Hatham came from, why he was tracking down X people, who he encountered, what happened to Achilles and the brotherhood that Achilles was part of. You know, it fills in all these stories and it does it a real well job. But it was just another Assassin's Creed 4. And I think that when the fans' reaction to the naval stuff was so good, they're like, let's just do it again. They didn't necessarily do it the right way. They literally did just that. They just did it again.
They just did the exact same thing.
And I mean, you gotta, they added some new things, but oh my god, yeah, they should make a pirate game. I think Ubisoft should make a pirate game. That's one thing that we really need, is there's nobody ever who's made a really, really, really good pirate game. I do want to play
seriously,
naval action. That looks like a good game, but it's not a pirate game. It's still like British Navy and all that stuff. It's faction based. I want a good, solid pirate game.
Yeah, I mean, they could probably even make that into an MMO. It'd be the best pirate game never released.
Because I mean, add some really neat ship customization options, like not just being able to change the colors of your sails, but changing the colors of your hull.
Yeah,
and
customize the color of your hull instead of making your armor change the color.
Which, don't get me wrong, the Jackdaw look badass with its... because, you know, you get everything maxed out, and you've got all these gold accents and this red and black hull with gold cannons and black sails. Yeah, it looked like a mean ship, but that's just fate.
Maybe whenever you upgrade your cannons all the way, you can either, you can get any kind of designs, like you could get platinum cannons with gold inlays.
And get like little
but those
great engravings in it and stuff like that.
Yeah, but those would be like purely cosmetic stuff.
Yeah.
Whenever you get to the point where you have so much money, you have no idea what to do with it.
Yeah, Ubisoft, you hear this? I'm gonna email on this podcast. I'm gonna be like, Ubisoft, look.
Yeah, listen to the last 15 minutes of this podcast, okay?
Like, I know there's a pirate game.
Another 45 minutes attached to it, but listen to the last 15 minutes.
Make a pirate game. I will totally jump on board. I won't even take credit for the idea. I'm sure I'm not the only person to have this idea. They need to do it. Black Flag was... I think Black Flag's probably my favorite pirate, or my favorite Assassin's...
That's racist.
Flag. I think Black Flag's probably my favorite Assassin's Creed game. Or it's close. It's really close with Assassin's Creed 3. I liked Assassin's Creed 3 a lot.
Yeah.
But Black Flag's definitely up there. Yeah, I do too. And so many of them, like, don't get me wrong. They overused Ezio a lot.
A lot.
Like, Revelations, he needed to go. But I think they got it in their head that they couldn't keep doing that, and then these really well-developed characters, they just left. Like Connor, you could have done so much more with Connor. You could have given him one more game. I could do another game with Connor.
Yeah.
I think he was an underused assassin. Because he's just... Connor's probably one of my favorite assassins because he's a badass. He looks cool. His robes are pretty cool. And he's...
Native American.
Well, yeah.
There's
but
that.
He's the very icon of what he tries to stand for in terms of freedom. He doesn't help one side or the other. He's trying to keep people free.
Yeah.
And which is why, like... Spoiler alert, honestly, though, if you haven't played Assassin's Creed 3 yet and finished the game, I'm not going to feel sorry for saying this. When you finish the game, and they're firing all the cannons at the last British troops leaving the colonies, and he turns around and sees slaves being sold on the... That's where he kind of realizes that, it's never going to go away. I really liked Connor. I think they developed his character really well. Now, granted, I didn't like playing as young Connor for the first 4 hours of the game, but I just wanted to get into the really BA assassin Indian guy where he's just, throwing around tomahawks and knives like they're plastic. But I do think they definitely underused Connor. I mean, again, liked Ezio, but he had way more time than was due.
Yeah.
I mean, way more time. AC2 was great. Brotherhood was great. Brotherhood's actually, purists can yell at me if they want, the first Assassin's Creed game I ever played was Brotherhood. And I loved it. It looked gorgeous. It was fun. It was just, there was a lot to do. And then Revelations came out, and I'm like, okay, Ezio, seriously. You were great in the past 2 games, but I'm tired of seeing your face. I want somebody new.
Yeah.
And then you go back and play as an Altair, who I guess at some point changed accents.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. I honestly don't understand why they did that.
It's just like, I understand that Masyaf is in an Arabic country.
Well, yeah, but I mean, in the first game, every character had an Arabic accent except for Ezio, and I was totally fine with that. It didn't really remove me from the game.
Yeah, and then now
that removes me from the game.
Yeah, it removes me from the game because I know that's not Altair. I'm just sitting there and he's just like, yes, you must follow the signs of the apple. I'm like,
it's like, dude,
who's this speaking?
What happened to your accent, man?
It's like, if they had telephones back then, and he'd have called somebody, be like, hello, brother, are you available?
Who is this?
Who's speaking?
It is Altair. And it's like, no, it's not.
No, Altair sounded like he came out of, like, Brooklyn.
Oh, it doesn't sound like he came out of Brooklyn, eh? It doesn't sound like he came... I can't do a Brooklyn accent. Brooklyn!
It's figure of speech.
Hey, shut your mouth.
It was the only U.S. city that I could think of on the flip of... on the I'm done.
Use your words, Austin.
I'm done.
Use your words.
I love Assassin's Creed. I'll play the game until it goes away. I mean, it's one of my favorite games. It's probably the game that honestly got me started back into gaming. Yeah. Like, I dabbled. I've honestly, since then, I've definitely played way more than any human should, but I dabbled in Fallout 3 before that game came out. Or before I got a hold of Brotherhood, and then I finally started playing Assassin's Creed. So you can see them. I've got every game up there on my computer desk. I just don't have a console to play them in. But I have every game on my computer now. I have every game and the bundles, like all the DLCs that they came with, except for Syndicate.
I don't have Syndicate either. Don't feel too bad.
But that's the next Assassin's Creed game I got to get because I'm starting to run out of space on my hard drive.
I have to get this game because I'm running out of space.
Running out of space. My computer, I have a 3 terabyte hard drive.
Can see those air quotes you just used.
I have a 3 terabyte hard drive in my computer, but my computer only recognizes 2 of those terabytes.
Why?
No idea. The only way I can get it to recognize all of it is if I wipe the computer and restructure the hard drive when I wipe the computer.
That's a lot of wiping.
What I have to do is literally back up all the important stuff on my computer onto an external drive and then reboot my computer to factory settings, which in the process I will lose Windows 10.
And then you have to reinstall Windows 10.
Or buy Windows 10. I don't know what the case is yet. I don't know if I've got like an activation code or what that I can just plug in and say, hey, look, I got it.
It's like, I have this. I need to reinstall it because I backed
Maybe
everything up.
I'd contact Microsoft in order to verify with them because it's not like every other computer where it's like it downloads and it's like an OS section on your hard drive, and when you change OSs, it just changes that OS section. My hard drive is bound to my motherboard.
Okay.
That means that Windows 7 is bound to that computer.
So you're going to have that regardless?
I will have Windows 7. Granted, it's Ultimate Edition Windows 7, but it's still Windows 7.
Yeah.
Not 10. Because it's not going to go off of what's on my...
At least you'll still have an operating system.
Well, sort of. But, no, I don't know. I don't know if it might...
Hey.
Wiping the computer...
It's not going to be Chrome.
Yeah, wiping the... Yeah. The computer, I don't know if it wipes OS or not. I don't think it does, but it might. But either way, I need to get that fixed so that I could use my hard drive's full capacity and fill up my screen with video games because that's what the computer is here for.
I think you might need to organize your, reorganize your desktop shortcuts.
They are organized.
No.
Steam, Uplay, and Origin are all at the top. Then the Fallout mod managing stuff is next to it. And then Grand Theft Auto in sequential order. And then the Crew, War Thunder, Halo. And then Battlefield in sequential order. Then Space Engineers and Medieval Engineers. I'm just reading off my games library. And then Saints Row in sequential order. The Sims in sequential order. Fallout in sequential order. Just Cause in sequential order. The Witcher in sequential order. Elder Scrolls in sequential order. And Assassin's Creed in sequential order. What do you mean it's not organized?
I mean, I would organize it into like different sections, like FPS, and I would probably make it alphabetical, and then open world, probably make that alphabetical.
No.
Know what I'm saying?
No.
Hang on a second.
What are you doing? No, don't. He's just meowing at the door. If you psst him, he'll come over here. Psst. Psst. Psst.
I don't think he's interested.
Psst.
If
you excuse us, we're trying to get the cat to not scream.
I'm just gonna open the door.
He's not gonna go out though.
We'll see.
He won't. He's just gonna stand at you like a deer in headlights. He'll be like, "Why'd you open the door?"
I opened the door. He walked out of the door.
He doesn't usually do that. He'll go to the door. See, this is why I love my cat to death, but I hate him. Like, he'll go to the door, and he'll sit there, and he'll scratch and howl and scratch and howl, and it's usually like right after I sit down after working, and I come home and I take my shoes off and I sit down on my computer chair, and he gets off of the couch and walks over to my door and goes, eh, eh, and then I have to get up and open the door, and he'll sit there and look up at me like, "What'd you do that?"
What did you open the door for? I was having fun.
And then I'll go sit down, and he'll do it again. So, yeah, but that doesn't relate to video games in any way, shape, or form. I guess I'll start sort of doing some of these closing announcements. Like I said at the very beginning, we are definitely going to try to settle on a day. I don't know what day that is yet. We have to get it squared away, and it'll be pretty consistent. It's not like it has been where we've been trying to schedule these on this day or this day or this day just because it's spontaneous and it just pops up and we're like, hey, let's do it. We're going to try to do it consistently on a regular basis each week, so that way you guys have something to reference, like, we're going to be recording on this day at this time. So, and it will very seldom change from that unless something comes up and we have to reschedule, in which case we'll notify somebody somewhere, whether it be Steam or
we'll do something.
YouTube.
We'll somewhere.
It'll be something to let you guys know that.
Maybe we'll create a Facebook page.
That's a good idea. 'Tis a very good idea. And we're also looking at expanding our cast. We want to get more people involved in it just because, don't get me wrong, not to sound egocentristic, but Tyler and I can carry some comical conversations, but if you listen...
we are pretty awesome and funny people.
If you listen to last week's bonus round, you'll know that these conversations can be much more hysterical.
More people, more people, more jokes. Yeah.
So we're looking at getting a 4-channel mixing board that can be capable of holding up to 4 of our microphones, and we'd get 2 more and have 2 more cast members. I think that'd be a pretty...
Yeah, that'd be pretty square number.
Pretty good team, and we might
get it.
We're still gonna
have 4.
What?
Nothing.
4 per. I'm not even gonna ask. I'll hear it at some point in the podcast. I'm not necessarily gonna say we're not gonna do news anymore, but it's still gonna be news, but it's also gonna be a lot of chunks about us just talking about game experiences, and the bonus round will be something very similar to that, but it will literally be no news at all. It'll just be us talking about stuff. So like I said, we're still gonna cover some news that I see, but obviously this podcast, we managed to fill up a whole hour just talking about games and very little about news. So we're still going to do news, but
maybe not as much.
Not as much, because honestly, it's every week. Not a whole lot happens in a week. But if it does happen, if a lot does happen, I assure you, we will get in touch with you, and we will let you know. So that's the end of my spiel. We got about 15 seconds left, so we really appreciate you tuning in, and this will be uploaded on Friday the 29th on YouTube. So thanks for listening, everybody. We will see you next week.